So another thing you've talked about in terms of the show is the resonance of queer issues and stories.
Yeah.
And some things you've cited are internalized homophobia.
Yes.
Which is, kind of painfully shows up in the show.
Right.
And confusion about finding your way from that perspective.
Yeah.
So could you give an example from the show that you found really resonant? Not necessarily from your life, but just that you think was effective.
Yeah, I think there's a great moment in one of the scenes that kind of like sums up what Cary is dealing with, and he's at a gay bar and a guy comes up to him and says like, "Oh, would you want to go out sometime?" And the guy who comes up to him has been they're in acting class together, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah," or "Would you want to go out?" And he tells Cary, "I didn't know you were gay." Mm-hmm. And Cary goes like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, right.
And then the other character's like, "Oh, that's not something that you should feel excited about, that you were passing or something." And what does that mean for Cary? Like what is he going through in that moment? And I think it's, a cool thing about this show, I hadn't seen a bunch of queer characters that were messy in that dealing with what it's like, or dealing with like what it's like to live life after you come out. A lot of shows are about like, here's how you come out, and then you do, and everything's fine.
Great.
And this is more like, okay, Cary's out, but he's not like, he's trying to be an actor and he's trying to be publicly out, but he's making missteps and he's figuring himself out and what that means and what some things he doesn't like about himself that he should love, Mm-hmm. So it's a very interesting look into, what it's like to live life after you come out and things that you can struggle with.
That's a good point.
Yeah.